Hey everybody, KC here. So there's a story that has been breaking over the last day or so about how Facebook has decided to slow the rollout of new products. And what they're saying is they want to do a reputational review. It's in a lot of different places. Here's how the Wall Street Journal phrases it. They say that Facebook has slowed the rollout of new products in recent days. People familiar with the matter said, amid media reports and congressional hearings related to a trove of internal documents showing harms from its platforms. Executives at the social media company have also put a hold on some work on existing products, while more than a dozen people are involved in conducting, quote, reputational reviews, unquote, to examine how Facebook may be criticized and to ensure products don't adversely affect children, the people said. And I think this is sort of interesting on several levels. First of all, yes, it's good that they're doing reputational reviews, but I would have a couple of observations about this. One, in a lot of ways, it sounds as if what they are doing is checking the optics. They're not necessarily checking the reality. Now, if that's not fair, fine. But it sounds like what they want to do is make sure that the optics look good. And Kara Swisher, the technology columnist, likes to say that Facebook acts as if it has a public relations problem, when in fact what it has is a product problem. And I completely agree with that. If they think this is all about public relations and unfair treatment at the hands of Senate committees and the media, they're not really understanding it at all, because they're not even understanding the reality of their own research, which says things like Instagram has a negative impact on especially young girls and how they think about themselves. But the more they get outraged, the more they get upset, the more it creates anxiety, the more time they spend on the site. There's something really wrong with that. That is not a reputational problem. That is a product problem, and they have to think about that. The other thing I would suggest, and this is sort of a broader suggestion for all businesses, is what is a reputation if it's not your brand? Or put another way, what is your brand if it's not your reputation? And businesses ought to be looking at how everything they do all the time affects their reputation, in the sense that they say, how does this either support our basic brand proposition, or how does it advance our brand proposition? And if businesses are not doing that, and they're just making decisions because, this will make us a little money here, a little money there, and I can think of a lot of examples where retailers do things that are going to make them a little money here and make a little money there, but might actually hurt their brand proposition long term, then they're making a mistake. And they could be doing things that in the end are going to undermine their businesses, their value proposition, and their brand image and their brand realities in the mind of the consumer. That you can't do. So it's a really interesting story about Facebook. I'm glad they're doing what they're doing, but I'm not convinced that they're doing it in the way they ought to be doing it. But I also think it teaches us all a lesson about how we ought to think about our businesses and our brands. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.